Alright, we're back again with the turbo process. I've done a lot off camera. I haven't really been filming a lot of it because it's just really kind of prep work and just using things that I already had while I was waiting on other parts such as the turbo, which we have right here. It's a 7875 journal bearing off of eBay. It has a billet wheel. It's all fancy. 44 millimeter wastegate, 60 millimeter blow-off valve. We have everything out of here now, so it's all ready to go. I was working on getting the crank pulley off yesterday so that I could drill and tap the front cover for the drain, but I'll do that another day. I gotta try and get this stuff tacked up. Also, yesterday I did go ahead and get most of this downpipe from the passenger side together, but I didn't have the flex pipe, which I'm gonna have to cut and put in right here somewhere. This is gonna be the driver's side. This needs to be shortened about 2 inches as well. Started intercooler piping. My brother-in-law has the other part he's welding on that's gonna go to the intake with the blow-off valve and the IAT sensor and all that stuff in it. Yeah, so right now I'm putting everything back together. I had taken everything out because I was doing all that other stuff. So I'm putting the manifolds back in. I'm gonna put those tubes back in, figure out where I'm gonna be able to put that flex pipe with the sway bar that's in there now. I'll make sure it's not gonna hit, take it back out, weld the flex pipe back in, or tack weld it in, because my brother-in-law is gonna finish welding with a TIG welder. Put that all back in, and then try and get some flange. Try to sort this out, get the pipes running into this flange, get the turbo mounted where it's going to need to go. Hopefully I can get all of that tacked up and together so that I can take it today so that my brother-in-law can weld it up, and I'll have that finalized and ready to go. So needless to say, we got a lot of work to do in a short period of time, considering it's already 1:30 and I've got to leave here at 3:30. So I've got 2 hours to leave. So let's get to it. Well, I didn't get as far as I wanted to today. I gotta go to work. Time ran out. Did get the flange on and most of the piping in the right direction. I have to finish connecting the passenger side to the flange. You can see right here, I've got to probably just cut this down and, redo this turn here, get it to where to go in there. My turbo feed line, which will come down here, and we'll go right up top here. But yep. Well, should be good to go. I got a couple more hours throughout the week. I got an hour tomorrow, an hour the next day. I'll have Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully I can get it started running this Sunday, and it's Tuesday now, so that doesn't leave very much time when you only got an hour and a half a day. So, but we'll pick this back up tomorrow or whenever I can get back in here. All right, it's a couple days later now. We finally got my hot side sorted out. It took me forever to get the right angles and everything like that. It still didn't turn out that great, but here she is, all welded up. Stainless steel, and it's ready to go on. I did get the front cover off and got the oil drain. Got the oil drain welded in where I want it, enough to clear this bolt, but pointed up to go above the alternator. I need to replace this seal, which I've got right here. And this is for my boost reference for the turbo. I got to drill and tap the compressor housing. I also got the wastegate welded on, but I still got to get the hole right on the inside, make sure it's opened up enough. Got the dump tube on the wastegate. It's welded on. Yeah, I got most of it done. Try to get this seal knocked out, get the crank put back together, get all that. You got to start from the inside out. So timing cover, crank pulley, alternator, then go from there. So let's get started. All right, front cover is back on, crank pulley is on, alternator's on, belt's on, it's tight. This is where the oil drain will go. I still have to figure out where I'm gonna run it, if I'm gonna run a 90, come through here, or if I'm gonna come up under here, or over the alternator this way, or straight up over the alternator, underneath the pipe and into the turbo. I'm not sure about that yet. Kind of winging it, gotta go, just going, figuring it out as I go. So next I'm going to get the hot side on, bolt it up completely, get it nice and tight. But first I'm going to take the manifolds back off because there's only like 2 bolts, and go ahead and replace the spark plugs. That way I know they're new, they're in there, and I ain't gonna worry about it later. Do that real quick, put the hot side back on, and I'll get back to you then. All right, not quite as far as I wanted to get today. I gotta go to work, but hot side is on. Next is just finishing up the turbo, getting it all put back together, mounting the turbo, running the oil line, and then doing all the finishing stuff. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to do this tomorrow. I'll have a couple more hours tomorrow instead of just the hour I had today, or hour and a half, whatever it's been. Tomorrow I'll have like 4 or 5 hours. So hopefully, with any luck, I can just get down here and hammer this out and get this thing fired up tomorrow. All right. It's been a couple more days now. I've only had like an hour here, an hour there between going to work and watching the kid and everything. Today is Saturday or Sunday. I've spent about, I don't know, 6 hours in here so far. I've got everything done that needs to be done other than putting the right injectors in, but I still can fire it up and see if it runs. None of the intercooler piping is connected, so it's actually not going to be throwing boost into the engine yet, but make sure it doesn't leak and that everything else works. First, I got to get into the ECU, tell it to read the new map sensor, the 3-bar map sensor instead of the 1-bar Holly. Yeah, I'm gonna open the doors, try and let it warm up and make sure there's oil pressure and that the turbo's working and that we can get the coolant flowing again, water pump's still kicking on and all that great stuff. Yeah, let's get into it. Look at this. Exhaust is done. Hammered. I had to take the steering column out still, but that's okay, it'll go back in. Turbo feed line, drain line, still need to better that. It needs to go down a little bit more, but I'll fix that. Coolant lines are plugged up. Mac valve is hooked up. All the vacuum lines are in. Wastegate, both sides, blow off valve, fuel pressure regulator. Let's see if she starts. Well, she's done. She works, or worked up for a little bit there. Yeah. We've got the whole turbo setup done. We had to redo the drain line for it Friday night so we drilled a hole, tapped it into the oil pan. I got to replace this drain. I did drive it Saturday and fried the alternator, so there's an alternator missing. I don't know if it's due to the heat being so close to the header here, or if the belt was too tight. It was squeaking a lot, so I'm sure that didn't help anything. I don't know if it was just too tight and the bearing went out or what. The car works great, flawlessly, honestly. I do need to do some fine tuning on the wastegate itself. the hole isn't big enough. I didn't get it up to 40 millimeter like I was supposed to. I was in a hurry, so it ended up seeing like 21 pounds of boost Friday night, which is great. I just don't have the fuel pump to support it. So I think I'm going to add a secondary fuel pump and get that hole a little bit bigger so we can manage the boost, keep it around 15. But that secondary fuel pump would just help keep it alive, supply enough fuel for it constantly. She runs, well, not right now, the battery's dead, but in terms of the way the car felt, it felt just the same as it always has. It was great, easy to drive. The turbo itself just needed a little bit more clutch work. You know, kick the clutch a little bit to get it to spool up fast, but once it did, it's a rocket ship. So it should be more than competitive at clutch kickers. Unfortunately, I don't see us being able to go to round 4. It's this weekend, and financially speaking, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't have the money for even registration right now, so probably gonna have to sit that one out, but it'll give me enough time to finalize all the little things on this car and get it done right. Like the exhaust, for example, it was too low, so every time I loaded it on the trailer or took it out of the shop, it knocked the V-band off. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Hope that any of this helped. Like, comment, share. If you want to see anything else, just let me know, and we'll go from there. Until then, y'all have fun.